How are you doing?
Access denied. Access denied. Access denied. Access granted. Access denied.
Sometimes it, uh-oh.
Access granted.
There we go.
Question, Kelly. Question about
Oh, man. Hey, you guys. Hey, you guys. Hey, you guys. I don't know how am I sounding? Can you hear me? We have Mr. Gunn in the house already. Want to say hi to him. Want to say hi to Richard's wife that I can hear in the background.
Oh, she's looking good, man. Good.
She's always looking good, it looks like.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you guys, I told my aunt and her son, my cousin told her, if a deer comes out in front of the car, avoid at all cost. And my aunt avoided the deer and scraped a little bit of the guardrail on the passenger side.
$25 at Amazon.
So we had to go over there and check out my aunt.
Also.
So that was kind of bumming, and we just got back, and I looked at the clock, and I said, "Oh man!" And I didn't want to come on, but of the goodness of my heart, hallelujah,
hallelujah.
Hey, Jerry, how you doing, brother?
Jerry,
hey, I got a question for you, Jerry. How do you like those that program? Did you get to be familiar with it yet? Because the more you use it, the better you'll get. And those guys that I told you about, those guys know quite a bit. So yeah, they're pretty good people to follow. They are very knowledgeable about YouTube and what goes on, the ins and outs. So yeah, I follow them, and I'm slowly catching on. My videos are getting a little bit better and better, and a little bit better of this and a little bit better of that. You shake it all together, and you get a little bit of this.
Hey, Kev.
And we have my buddy with me, Mr. Richard Lee. How you doing, Richard?
I don't mean to interrupt you, what you're telling Jerry, but going back to the deer, they make these little things. They sound stupid, but it goes on your car. It's called a deer whistle. You can buy them at Amazon for like $5. I hate to kill animals like that, and plus it messes up your car, can kill you. I got one for my friend and me, and I was way up in the Adirondacks going to a party last year, and traffic was slowing down. I don't know, there was a concert or something, and I seen a whole bunch of deer, a mother deer and some babies. And as soon as I was approaching, I was going to about probably 65 miles an hour. Their heads all popped up. They heard, it's like an ultrasonic whistle, and it holds on your bumper with adhesive, and you can get them at Amazon. So get one of those for your aunt. It doesn't hurt,
Well, can we hear it with the naked ear? Or
no, you can't. You cannot hear it.
Okay.
But they can. And sometimes you're swerving on a dark road at night, particularly if you go out in the boonies, which my wife loves to. I mean, I drive hundreds of miles away from civilization to go to these Filipino parties,
Yeah.
Woodstock, New York, and everything, man. One day I drove there to deliver a cake she made.
Wow.
It only stayed for an hour. Yeah. Crazy. But it can make a mess of your car, and you can, like Gunn was saying, you can really mess up your car by swerving or getting the deer. Some of those deers are big. Man. Yeah. How you doing, Fred? Hey, Jerry. Hey, I don't know how to pronounce the other guy's name there. Rundavis?
Yeah, we got quite a few people already. We got 9 people, 4 minutes into the show, so that's pretty cool. How you guys doing? I hope you had a good afternoon. Apologize about being late, but it's Mother Nature against the car. We won because we didn't hit the deer. But you got to be careful about wildlife.
Yeah.
The animals that get kind of stupid and they wanna challenge the car. Don't challenge the car, whatever you do. I seen what a moose could do to the vehicle, and it's a no-win situation. And we have trains that hit the moose all the time, and that's nothing. I mean, it has no effect on the train. But a semi and the cars, the moose doesn't win, but neither does the car. Neither does the car. Sometimes the moose antler will go all the way through the car, taking everything with it. So yeah, those moose are they're a good tasting animal, but I don't want to taste it raw. So yeah. Other than that, everything else is just peachy. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Huckleberry? You just got to be careful what you're doing. Watch the speed limit, and don't entertain kids when you're driving. Just put duct tape over the kid's mouth, and everybody's happy.
Yeah, Gunn said he hit a deer once. It took the head clean off. He didn't want to hit it, but it was so fast and was not given a chance. He was driving his big rig, you know?
Oh, okay. Well, sometimes those antlers will get stuck in the grill without the animal.
Yeah. They ain't going to stop no big rig, though.
No, but it might damage it, so you got to be careful. A lot of these big rigs, my cousin has a rig. He has like one of those train, almost look like a bumper, to reflect the animals.
Some of those big rigs are pretty sophisticated with all the air dams they have on them now. It's pretty amazing. You see them flying on the highways, you know?
Yeah.
Get better gas mileage and everything.
Really? That'd be good.
Yeah, you know, they have the thing on the top of the hood or whatever. Yeah. So, Kevin, I guess tonight we're going to continue the life story.
We'll go to part 2 on the Q&A questions.
Mm-hmm.
We'll begin. What was it like after high school?
Yeah. And so did you have any plans, Kevin, for college when you were in high school?
No, at the end of towards my high school, my 11th and 12th grade year, I we got a real good trade school in Anchorage.
Mm-hmm.
For high school, like 11th grade, 12th grade, and it was pretty good. They had masonry, carpentry, electrician, modeling for girls, cooking, not cooking like at the house. I'm talking about cooking. I'm talking about like cooking for the like on board ships, on the train,
commercial
military.
cooking, like a chef
but
course.
It's for mass amounts of people.
Yeah, that's an art to be able to do that.
I took that. I took cooking, and I also took photography, black and white photography. And then on my 12th grade year, we got color that came in.
That was fun.
Yeah, well, that's where I got my interest for photography, was through high school. I always had to act for it. Same with cooking. My mom and dad always had businesses based around culinary. So yeah, it was, that part was quite fun.
Yeah. So you went to trade school and you liked photography and cooking and everything. And do you get finished with high school? And then what did you do when you got out of school? Smoke a lot of dope?
Oh no, no. I know my brother did. My sister,
I did that.
they were stoners. I was more like a jock at school, but my brother and my sister, they were like stoners, and they had their crowd. I had my crowd. So I really never went into that alley.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I graduated from school, I we have a couple of big restaurants that had nightclubs in them. Stewart Anderson Cattle Company.
Mm-hmm.
That was a big restaurant chain, and they got like a restaurant on one end, and then they got the live entertainment and bar on the other end, and got a job. Well, I didn't get a job there, but I told my mom and dad I was working at Stewart Anderson's, and I really got another job. I got a job down the street called Gussie Lamore's, and there was a military bar that Air Force and the Army guys from Fort Richardson would go there, in Elmendorf Air Force Base in Anchorage and Fort Richardson in Anchorage. They all went, to that one bar. We had 50-cent pitcher night.
That's
we had
pretty
ladies
nice.
night twice a week. We had tequila night, shots. So we had lots of different kinds of drink specials, and we had lady. We didn't have ladies night. We had that happy hour. This was before MAD came out. MAD is abbreviation, Mothers Against Drunk Drivers, and
Oh yeah.
this was right before they went into action. And when I graduated, the drinking age was still 18 years old.
Mhm.
So, but a year after, they went to 21. So yeah, I started working there, and now in Anchorage, we just started getting the permanent fund dividend, Alaska dividend, from the oil pipeline, and that was around $2,000 for each individual. So if you get 10 people in your house, you get 10 checks from the oil company.
That's pretty sweet.
And each check is worth $2,000. So everybody had a pretty good payday from the family, from little baby Jessica, that's only a year and a half, all the way to grandpa, that's 99. Everybody gets a check. So yeah, that was kind of nice. And they come out in October. Right now, they're coming out. So yeah,
$2,000 for everybody.
I was doing pretty good, but I was still living at my mom and dad's house, and again, my parents are like hardcore Mormons, and they called up Stewart Anderson Cattle Company, and they asked for me because they needed to do something, and they wanted to know something about what I was going to do, and they said, "Oh, this guy doesn't work there. He doesn't work for us." And then the next morning, I went home. I snuck in, I think it was around 2:00. I got home and went downstairs and jumped into bed. And 9:00 in the morning, my mom went in, or maybe it was around 8:30. My mom came in with my dad, and they said, we want you to get out of the house. I go, what? And they said, you lied to us for a month saying you work at Stuart Anderson's, and
Ooh.
they said we think it's time since you're making a paycheck from someplace else, we think it's time for you to move out. And I go, damn. So I moved out, and this was during the summertime, and down the street over by International Airport Road in Anchorage, there's this motel place, kind of rundown place. It was like maybe $100 a month.
Also known as Kevin's new house.
What's that?
I said also known as Kevin's new house.
I didn't hear you.
I said also known as Kevin's new house.
And
right,
hang in there, buddy, hang in there. And after that, I went to my buddy over there, and that was close to where I was working at. And over in that motel room, my buddy he had a 2-bedroom, had 2 beds in there. So I hooked up with him, and boy, it was a little bit rough because I wasn't prepared to getting kicked out of the house. And I worked for them and everything, and my dad got in touch with me and told me that I got my check from the Alaska government, and he had it in his hand. He told me to sign the back of it, and I go, huh? And I signed the back of the check, and then my dad said, well, since you lied to us, we're gonna take this check and we're gonna use it for something else. And I said, damn, but this is my check, and it didn't work. And my dad won. So after that, when I filed for Alaska Permanent Fund dividend, I did in my name, my address, and my parents couldn't touch it. So yeah, so that part was kind of bumming me out. But from that motel, I started making pretty good money at the bar, and we moved out into a 2-bedroom apartment. So my buddy and I did, because we both worked at the same place. And yeah, working in nightclubs and doing that bouncing work. I did that for maybe 18, 19, maybe up to 22. I was working at 2 different nightclubs, and I was making around $18 an hour. So it paid pretty well. Got to meet a lot of girls, and there was this one guy that owned a nightclub downtown and on 4th Avenue, and he came in and talked to me, pulled me off to the side to talk to me, and he said he'll pay me this amount of money if I will leave this place and go to another place. And I did. I went the next day, and I didn't tell my boss. I didn't know about giving a 2 weeks notice. And I start working downtown at the Alaska Native Eskimos and Indian hangouts that they needed a bouncer that knew how to bounce, and a guy with good size, and he's not afraid to throw down with somebody. So he went and asked me. I guess he heard from somebody else about me, and I stopped working downtown, and my pay went up, and everything else went up too. And then I did that around till I was around 24. Rich?
Did you get a lot of pussy when you were bouncing?
At the beginning, no, but later on, I met a lot of people. I'll put it
You
that.
see them guys at clubs, standing there looking badass and stuff, and all the girls are kissing up to them. So, you just figured that's what's going on, because sometimes they don't let everybody in a club. You know what I mean? They try to make it like exclusive.
Yeah, they were 80. A lot of people was 86, and since I was new, I had to learn who was 86, and 86 means like blacklisted.
Yeah,
and I just had to find out who was who, and since I was a newbie, I had to learn. And
what did you wear? Like black leather jackets, silk shirts, and bandanas?
No, just regular. Some of those people we call that colors. They were wearing their colors, and we wouldn't let them in.
Mm-hmm. Gangbangers,
wearing like black leather coats and
bikers.
Well, they were wannabe bikers. We had the Hell Angels in Anchorage for a while, but that was just about it. And then we had those little street gang boys that try to get in. But yeah, that kind of stuff really wasn't a problem. Just the regulars that they were 86, and then they were trying to come in and trying to get out. So
Terry wants to know what 69 means then, Big Kevin.
I don't know what the hell is 69, but 86 means that they are kicked out of the area. But 69 probably means the same thing as it means right now.
Not really, Jimmy. Not really. A few, but not too many. There's wannabes, but
yeah, there are wannabes everywhere. People try to come up to Alaska, and they couldn't make it in the fishing industry, and they didn't make it in the oil industry, so they tried to panhandling, hustle people for money.
You know how good the social welfare system is in America. It's unbelievable to see people panhandling here. You can understand it in the Philippines, but it's unbelievable. Every street corner here.
Good in Alaska, and a lot of people do it, and they get money from him.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that kind of stuff. I mean, the riffraff. Sometimes people who don't make it where they're at, so then they hear about the big money in Alaska, so they go there and they find out that it's not. You got to work for it, and a lot of people don't want to work, and they become boozers and stuff like that. So they find out the hard way. Summertime is okay to do that kind of stuff, but in the winter time, you get a lot of people that freeze to death.
Yeah, it's too damn cold here for bikers, man. They want to be where the warm weather is, right?
Yeah. Well, not just bikers, but a little bit of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Try to get rich quick in the fishing industry, or in the mining, or in the oil fields. Sometimes people just can't. Like, they drink and then they can't make it to work the next day, so they have a rude awakening. But yeah, I made it pretty good when I was young in Alaska. Made good money, made a lot of friends.
Snowmobile gang. Yeah,
What's that?
that's what Raymond said. Snowmobiler gang. Snowcats.
Yeah. Well, snow cat. There's a mountain cat, which is a big snow machine made by Arctic Cat.
Terry
Then
wants
they got the snow
the
cats.
roller skate gang. Jeez. What a crew we have, huh?
I can't hear you when you're giggling, Richard.
Is my mic too low or something? Or
Well, yeah. Plus, when you're giggling into the mic, and you don't really hear what you're saying. You just can hear a little mumbling. It's a ready to bitch slap. Yeah.
testing 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, okay. Well, now we got Howard Stern.
Hey, what was Jackie?
Yeah,
the Drug Man? Hey, Robin's always laughing.
And you wonder why I want to become an alcoholic again. Hey, Terry, I didn't see you. How you doing, buddy?
He said your hearing's going. But anyhow, back to the Big Kevin story.
I am slowly losing my hearing, so everything else is going to hell with me, so why not? Hey, JD, how you doing? And good morning to you. It's evening time for us, but on your side of the world, mighty good morning to you, and I hope you had a good night's rest. Hope you got a little bit of some. Next time, get something for me because I haven't had none for a while, so don't overdo it. Hey, Randall, what are you doing? Well, everybody does have a sled. No. I had a no. I when I was bouncing, I had a used car, which was pretty nice. Yeah, Florida would be nice in December. So what else is going on, Rich?
Oh, let's see here. So what was your first job? It was bouncing. How about after you got out of bouncing?
When I got out of bouncing.
Yeah, you did that to what? You're 24?
My mom and dad had a hotel motel in Dutch Harbor over on Unalaska side. And that night I was kind of short to get money to get my plane ticket. So I went to the after hours bar in downtown and had a couple of dollars on me that I was trying to save for my airplane ticket. But I felt lucky and at this after hours bar, they had a 4, 5, 6 table. They had a 21 table. So I played my luck with the dice, and I went on a winning spree, and I won maybe a couple of hands, I think 3 or 4 hands, and I made enough for my airplane ticket for the next day, and I took the money, and the owner said, he said, Kevin, aren't you gonna let me try to win it back? And I said, I gotta go. I gotta go. I'll see you maybe in a couple of winters. I'll come back. I knew a lot of the after hours bar owners because a lot of them went downtown and they hung out downtown, and a lot of people know each other from the bars and from the nightclubs there. So he knew what I was gonna do, but he still tried to make me give him back the money. And he found out I won.
Poker or blackjack?
I played 4, 5, 6. That's a dice game.
Oh,
So that's how I won. That's how I won and went down and caught a plane to Dutch Harbor, Alaska, and that landing was quite horrific, and it wasn't that very fun landing because it was a short runway. One side was ocean, the other side was a mountain, and we were down in the middle. So we just landed, and we were all happy that we walked away from it. And I didn't tell my mom and dad that I was coming down. So I surprised my parents and worked for my parents a while. Couldn't stand it any longer, so I hopped on a boat. My parents had they had a thing with the shipping company that the employees would stay at my parents' hotel. And they got paid for it. They fed them and got paid and all this stuff. So my dad introduced me to the captain, and I was the cook. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It was only for a 12-man crew. And that's what I started to do, and I did that for right around 6 years. It was a good job when it was a dang good job.
so
But
what was your pay then when you were on the ship?
I got paid $150 a day for
A day.
yeah,
That's
for 31 days.
Wow. $151 a day.
Well, yeah, but see, you got to remember those other guys, those other
That's
cats, they were all,
$681.
those other guys, they were all getting a percentage from the ship, and I got straight pay. So those other guys, they got a percentage. So if they got like 5% and higher, then that, they were doing a real good. But I only was just making a set amount, so which wasn't that good compared to what everybody else was making.
How many months would you do that for?
I would go out. Sometimes the season would be from 1 month would be one season, but you got to remember we got to prepare for it, and it could take up to 2 months to get the lines ready, get the crab pots ready, because we had 7x7 size pots, 7 feet high by 7 feet, and by 1 meter, and we had giant angle iron for the skeleton of the pot. So that, I mean, and they were very heavy to move. It would take a normal person 2 people to move. I could do one, because when the ship rolls, that's when you push. So I could do it by myself, but other people, it would take a little, like 2 people to move the crab pot.
You mean those little wimpy guys?
Well, it is what it is. Hey, Peter, how you doing? I see you out there. What's going on with you, buddy? Haven't heard from you. Mr. Roberto's not gonna be on for a while. He took a leave of absence. So you got nobody to chase you away. had a joke. So if you want to come on for a moment and say whatever you want, the rest of you guys could come on too if you're not very disruptive to the cause. Yeah, we when we went crabbing is sometimes December it would begin, and it depends on the season because we got snow crab, we got brown crab, we got red crab, we got Dungeness crabs. So we got so many different seasons that and everybody has a different size of crab, and I did brown crab, which is also called Alaska king crab, is also brown crab. Hey, buddy, how you doing? I'm doing okay. Can't complain. Nobody wants to listen to what I'm gonna complain about, so might as well just be quiet and keep moving.
Yeah, even at like Costco, brown crab is like $29 a
So
pound.
what's up?
Hey, there's a voice from the past. What's up?
Hello.
Another day in the jungle, buddy. My aunt dodged the little Bambi, and on the road, and didn't do much damage to the car, but shook up my aunt. So my aunt was taking
Hey, what's up?
my cousin's kid to Boy Scouts, and other than that, everything is going okay. What's going on with you? Seasons that hello? Hey, Peter, you still with us?
Hey, what's up?
Not much, buddy. How you doing? What's going on in the land of
Are you
sunshine?
there? Hey, I just wanted to clear up a couple things.
You might have to turn up your
there were
volume.
some things said the other day that were. Do what?
Well, okay, what now? Some guy said what?
There were some things said the other day that were just completely inaccurate. So I just wanted to clear up a couple things. The issue that I have specifically with Johnny right now is the comments over epilepsy.
Okay.
That's the core issue. That is above and beyond anything else, because 50 million people around the world have epilepsy, and it's not floppy fish, and they can't openly talk about it because there's so much misconceptions about epilepsy. And then for a guy to get up on YouTube and call it floppy fish and equate it to demons is just not acceptable.
Yeah.
And that's
I'll
what
be
it's
right
about.
back. Richard, take over.
Yeah. Well, I don't think Peter. This is Richard. Kevin just asked me to take over. I think he had to leave for a minute. But I was on that show with Johnny, and I found him to be he was quite gentlemanly. I don't really know him, and
But what I'm saying was
saying-
it was a misrepresentation of what the issues are.
Oh yeah, he didn't mention. I don't think he mentioned anything about epilepsy, but he.
Well, no, that was the issue. He called it floppy fish and equated it to demons in one of his rant videos.
Oh yeah.
And that, you know what? Call me every name in the book. I don't care. But when you start going after people with epilepsy, that's something I'm saying enough is enough, because I mean, people have right now. I'm going through a very hard time physically.
Mm-hmm.
A bit for the last couple of weeks. It's part of the reason I'm so dodgy right now. The other thing I remember, you asked a question on why I'm in the why I came to the Philippines.
Yeah, I asked Johnny that. I wondered why, because I don't honestly know you, but I've heard all these guys complaining that you've said a lot of negative things about the Philippines. And somebody, I think it was Black Expat Jay, said that you're a missionary. So that was good enough for me.
I was involved in some mission work in Palawan in 2006.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that was that. And part of it is this is I may come across negative, but it's in response to some people that think that they're the Reader Digest
Hmm.
and that they're Lonely Planet, and they try and pretend like there's no negatives in the Philippines. As soon as you show up in the Philippines, there's going to be girls. They're going to have a girly bar right in the airport for you.
Right.
I mean, that this idea that the Philippines is nothing more than a big party and everything's dirt cheap and the beer is cold, it's just not accurate. That's not real life.
Right. Right. Yeah. Well,
And
everything isn't Angeles City. People think it is. I mean, that's only one small portion of the Philippines.
well, no, I'm talking about that's what these expats present to
Yeah.
on YouTube is, how cheap it is. It's not that cheap anymore, and I can't tell you how many. In fact, I think I'm the only vlogger that doesn't talk about relationships on at least a weekly basis.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I guess
Everything
as far as the price of
is
living in
girl.
the Philippines, I guess it depends on what kind of a life you want to live. Some people, I think I forget who I talked about that with. Some people like to live a low key life in their retirement. Other people, I don't think I could live that way because I grew up in the city.
Well,
So
not
and
only that
yeah.
even the cost of basic stuff is rising.
Hmm. Yeah.
So I
And
mean,
if you want like American, like even cheese and milk and stuff is pretty hard to get there. If you beef, if you enjoy those things, it's
here,
going to be costly.
here,
Yeah.
here's another thing that you have to consider though is I've been in and out of the hospital for the last week. Okay, those hospital visits, if mine wasn't taken care of, would be thousands of dollars with no Medicaid. No Medicare doesn't apply here. So it would be thousands of dollars, but they don't want to talk about that either.
Hmm.
I mean, I just saw that Mike Casson just had a $70,000 peso operation.
Hmm.
I mean, it's not as cheap as people want to make it out to be anymore. It used to be, but it's not anymore. A lot of I struggle to see what in the Philippines is better than in the United States, unless you have addictions.
Mm.
I mean, if you like to drink alcohol, it's cheaper in the Philippines. If you like to smoke, it's cheaper in the Philippines. But if you don't do either of those, I don't see what the Philippines has that the U.S. doesn't.
Yeah.
Hey guys,
To each his own, whatever floats people's boats.
hey,
It's my wife's
Yeah, but
country, and I've been there many times, and I love the people there. I think they're warm, genuine people. I'm not into that Angeles City scene looking for bar girls and stuff. I love my wife's family. They're not looking for handouts and stuff. They all work and everything. My wife
where are they
is a
from?
college graduate. My wife is from Cebu City, and she has a
Do you know where she's
yeah.
originally from?
Pardon me?
You know where she's originally from?
Yeah, she's originally from Cebu City.
Like, well, the reason I asked that is Cebu and Manila, very few people are actually from.
Yeah, well, my wife was born there. Her whole family is from there. A couple of I think her grandparents on her grandmother's side, that don't make sense. On her father's side, um, immigrated up to Manila, and they ran a business up there. And I don't think my wife ever seen much of her and her grandfather, but most of her family stayed right in Cebu. They're not rich people.
For the most part,
work, you know, they all work and.
Right. But Richard, your initial reason to go there was for companionship.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I think 90% of the people that go there want to have some kind of
I had
companionship.
yellow fever,
that is
John.
not. Hold on.
What about the other 10%?
Hold on, Kevin. That is completely true, and I'm going to tell you why.
Homosexual.
Most people that come to the Philippines, they're coming here to go to Boracay, Palawan, Bohol. They're coming for a week to 2 weeks, and then they're going off to Thailand or they're going to. If you look at the stats of
That's by the
arrivals,
millennials now.
it's mostly Koreans and it's mostly families that are arriving.
Yeah.
The other 10 are gay. Jerry's right.
You know, that this idea that only the old guys are the only tourists is another misconception.
Well, I was in Cebu in April for a month just this year, and I was in Mactan at a resort with my wife and kids, and there was a lot of Korean people there at the resort. So they have a lot of disposable income, apparently, and they were young people.
Well, you got to remember, a lot of those Koreans are there to supposedly learn English.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only a 3-hour flight for
A
them.
couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
You also got to understand Koreans outnumber Americans for arrivals every year.
3-hour flight, huh?
That's right. Or Tokyo.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, you know what? The number one question that I get from people online has nothing to do with girls. The biggest question I get is
Why would they ask you about girls, Peter?
You know what? I do get asked about that sometimes.
Why
just
would
because
they?
I have a presence. But the biggest.
But you have
question
no
I get-
interaction with women there.
I interact with people on a daily basis, bro. You kind of have to.
I mean, in a romantic or intimate sense.
No, I've learned my lesson from that.
What was that lesson? Tell us about it.
Stay away from them.
Why?
You know what? I'm not really into gold diggers. I'm sorry.
But they're not all gold diggers.
Not all of them.
You can't judge a whole country by one person.
Here, hold on. Since we're not talking about girls, all these expats talk about all these hot girls, and okay. But why do all these expats that talk about it all have ugly girlfriends?
Because they wouldn't know a good-looking girl if they fell over it, and most of them haven't gotten laid for 10 years before coming to the Philippines.
I just noticed that all these guys that talk about all these hot girls, none of them have any.
Well, that shows you how much they know about the country,
Yeah.
and it's reflected in
And we
the
have
type
seven
of girl they're
dialed
with.
in the house.
Look who's here, ladies and gentlemen.
Sissy style!
The one, the only.
Sissy style!
Seth is here.
How you doing, Seth?
We were just about to talk about lady
Welcome
boys.
to the House of Madness.
Good to see you, Seth. Oh my God! What is this?
Yes,
Aloe the winter. What is
and
it?
aloe.
A
What
full
are
moon?
they going at the hips?
Oh,
Hey,
come
Aloe.
on. We know you don't like those, Winter. We know it's just a facade.
What are you boys and girls out doing tonight? Hey, Seth, if you want to invite Mr. Aloe on the show, you can do that, and you can
There's
follow.
gonna be like 10 people
like
on
it?
at the same time, ain't there?
What's that?
It's gonna be like, remember that show where Seth was in the room that time and you had like 11, 12 people on at the same time?
Yeah, there was a whole bunch of good people out. Yep. So,
Whoops.
Aloe, are you going to come on and grace us with your presence?
The intellectual aloe.
And we have also Mr. Says Style in the house. The man with the plan. We
Hey,
haven't
what's up,
heard-
motherfuckers?
Hey, we got a lot of people want to ask some questions, buddy. So be prepared for the.
Oh
for-
man, I know you've been trying to get a hold of me, Kev. I see your messages.
Well, because I want that pink helmet, and it's hard to get a hold of you, buddy, because you're always on the run and you're always on the prowl.
You telling me that you want that pink anything? You should never say that again.
Well,
You
you
can't
know,
have
I don't want to
pink
say it out
panties.
loud, but
Can't have pink panties. Those are
Well,
his
I
own.
need a pair of balloon panties. If I'm gonna wear a pair of panties, I'm afraid they're gonna be like old grandma panties.
You're out of luck. He wears a pink thong.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but it's pink with and yellow stains, and that part in the back is becoming like a shitty brown color.
This very graphic, Kev. This is very
Well, I
graphic.
just-
Well, that's exactly what it looks like after he comes back from a night out.
So, what the hell have I missed, guys? Yeah,
Well,
sorry.
buddy,
I've been crazy busy, so I've had to. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I haven't been following YouTube at all. And this morning, I woke up. I mean, I'm fucking tired. I woke up at 7 a.m. for a call, and then I was like, should I go back to sleep, or should I just power through? And then I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go on YouTube. And I saw that you guys were live, and of course, I got to join in. You know what I mean?
You know, you bring a little tear to my eye when you say that. So you making me feel a little bit of like ticklish, joyful in the air.
Glad I could bring some joy. So who do we got on? We got John Doe in the house. We got Richard. Who's MJB?
I'm new to the YouTube game, so.
Oh, what's up, bro? Well, what's your name? You just go by MJB?
Well, that's my nickname, but I just all my friends and people usually call me MJB, but my real name is Malcolm. So yeah.
Hey, buddy,
Oh, cool,
where
man.
were you talking from?
I'm actually from Erie, Erie, Pennsylvania.
Cool, buddy. Welcome aboard.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Anytime. We everybody's welcome on my show.
Cool, man. Well, glad we could all be here. So what I missed, what's been going on the past few, I think it's been like a couple months. What's been going on the past few months, John Doe?
Hammond just been keeping us up to date on you, so we're
Oh yeah,
pretty up to
what's
date.
the latest?
Yeah.
He said that you got robbed.
Oh, Jesus, man. Who robbed me this time?
You would you don't know?
Somebody, he
Because-
said you tried to rent an 8,000 peso house because you were being cheap. And so, I don't know. He said somebody tried to mug you or something like that. That's what he said.
I love these stories.
I didn't believe it.
I
I
love
believe
these stories
and-
that I find out about my own life through these stories. Like I'm like, whoa, this is pretty cool. Wait, so fill me in. What happened? What happened?
You know what happened. Just
You
don't
were being a cheap scumbag and moved to a bad part of town, and Lynn left you.
Oh man, that's great. I love it. That was it. That was the story. I mean, that's not even that exciting.
Oh.
And then the next day you come out with a video, man. And I said, doesn't look like he was mugged to me, man. I think Hemminger's off.
Yeah, no.
I
I've told Heminger this. I mean, this is back in the day because what I used to do is I used to wake up in the morning and literally like search around YouTube for all the outrageous stories that are being said about me. And I would be laughing my ass off. I mean, some of the stuff I would read, it is pretty creative stuff. I got to tell you guys, I mean, these are not stupid people who are making this crap up. These are actually these are creative writers, we'll call them. They're storytellers. And I would be sipping a coffee reading about these insane stories about myself And I'd be like, oh, this is great, man. Yeah, like talk about like stroking your own
Probably
ego.
beginning to believe him too, aren't you?
Yeah, I started believing him. I'm like, whoa, shit, did that happen? I start getting all paranoid and shit. I'd actually be jerking off to these stories about myself. Talk about an inflated ego. I mean,
you're famous,
I am
dude.
I am a product.
Can you talk a little bit lower?
I would be too if I was famous.
What's that?
Talk a little bit lower. I almost missed a stroke.
Hey, we got Aloe Winter in the house. Has he been around?
No,
Well,
man.
no, this is the first time. Like, you and him both came on together, so things are in cahoots. I'm trying to have him come on, but damn, he's like being shy or something.
Yeah, what's up with Aloe?
German for us. Guten Tag.
Well,
you know, I love that German accent. You guys know that. It's like nothing tickles my fancy like a good German accent.
Well, I guess you haven't been reading my names of my shows because I've been putting them in German. And last week, Aloe caught on, and he asked me, "Where did I learn how to speak German from?"
Well, Kev, can we take a step back?
Evidently, he can read German.
Kev, let's take a quick step back. First of all, I just don't know how to read. Second of all, if I did know how to read, I definitely wouldn't be reading the names of your shows.
In German, right?
No.
Kevin's trying to have a broader appeal to the Europeans.
Yeah. And lo and behold, Aloe came on and asking me where did I learn how to do it. And I told him it was through Google interpretation. So
I see some of the guys talking about the site that I launched. So I'm just going to give myself a shameless plug. If you are interested in Angeles City,
of course, go ahead and help yourself.
Yeah. If you live in Angeles City, if you've traveled to Angeles City or have lived in Angeles City in the past, our site is for you.
How about if I know somebody from Angeles City? Would that
still
be okay?
for you. Still for you. The site is called finditangeles.com. It's a great site. It's used as a resource for all things Angeles City. Check it out. Hotels, food, classifieds, reviews. It's got everything. Check it out, guys.
Wow. That's pretty exciting, buddy. Thanks.
Yeah. Sorry,
And
I thought I would just use your
have
show as a platform, to benefit myself.
That's fine. That's fine. Just give me like an extra $3 on my Patreon, and I'll be happy.
Oh, I think I still have shit, man. I gotta cancel my Patreon. You just reminded me.
Don't you have
$8 floating around to Kev every month? I gotta cancel that shit. How many coffees did you already get off of me?
I don't think he even touches it, man.
I didn't even know. I know. I didn't know how much I had in it, and then I digged and I digged. Then I found out, so I bought a new thong with it, my size, king size.
He's trying to be like Mike Fazio, right?
Well, no.
Even Fazio was starting a Patreon account.
Well, everybody's doing it, so I figured.
What's your Patreon at nowadays, Kev?
$39.
I'm doing around 68 a month.
That's pretty good, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, I gotta cancel my Patreon. Well, I started it, and then I realized right after I started that I don't feel comfortable doing
I really
Patreon.
don't like you.
Yeah, well, no.
Yeah,
I don't mean cancel Kev's Patreon. I mean cancel my own Patreon. Because when I first started it, I'm like, oh, yeah, I have all these benefits that I'm providing, like visa consulting, shit like that. And what I realized is that people were just giving me money and they didn't want any kind of service. And it made me really uncomfortable. I'll be honest with you guys. I mean, I've always worked for my money. So it's like people just give me money and I'm like, yo, so let me know when you want to set up visa consulting. They're like, nah, I'm good. I don't want it. And I'm like, all right, this is making me very uncomfortable. So I never mentioned it again. So I gotta cancel mine. Yeah, I still once in a while we'll get some random person like donate something, and I really have. I have no desire for that money. So I got to cancel mine. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it to you, Kev, but only if you spend it on hookers and blow and ladyboys.
I lost so much weight right now. I almost could blow myself.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I lost 45 pounds.
Yeah, you looking good, man.
That's why you never leave the house, Kevin.
Well, I'm almost ready. I haven't a lot. Today's the first time I left the house, and I went to my physical therapy, and they weighed me, and they're gonna tell me I'm gonna do 2 knee replacements, and I have to lose another 40 pounds before the doctor will operate on me. So I'm gonna go to my therapy and twice a week for 6 weeks. And lose some more pounds, and I'm gonna start looking like Seth, white and pasty.
An extremely obese guy goes to the doctor, and he says, "You know, doc, I can no longer see my penis." And the doctor says, "Well, diet." So the obese man says, "What color?"
Yeah, almost, buddy. That was almost funny. Almost.
Thought I would liven up the chat, you know.
But hey, talk about wild animals. How's your cat doing? That ugly beast.
Oh, man.
Come on, Elo, get on the mic. Oh my God.
Talking about an asshole, or if we're talking about assholes, you know, my cat would probably be number one. I'm trying to look where the hell he is, because, yeah, man, the guy. I just moved into a new place, and
again,
I'm telling. Yeah, I moved again. My landlord sold. I already knew I had to move for a while. Actually, since I got back here, my landlord sold the whole complex. But it actually worked out really well because I got this really nice place now, and everything's brand new. It's great. And the problem is my cat. I mean, this little asshole. Don't even start with this little guy. I'm telling you. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. Cats are just assholes. Animals.
Why are you asking everybody how they're doing, but you don't ask how I'm doing? You know, you call me up, you text me all different times of the days, but right now you're like giving me the cold shoulder. I'm inviting you on my show, and you ain't doing that. Okay.
He's being
we had a really good show going. We had a really good show going, and then Seth comes on and Peter left. So now the show's like shit.
Exactly, buddy.
You notice that Peter went boom out of the room.
What'd you do to him, Seth?
Oh, you know what? You know what? Where the hell did Petey go? What?
He's gone.
You chased him off like you and Roberto, man.
Dude, I totally forgot that he was on. Actually, the reason I came here, I saw that Petey was on, and I was like, oh, I'm going to join. And then I completely lost my train of thought. Yeah, where the hell did Petey go?
We were discussing women with him. That's why he ran off.
Yeah.
John Doe ran off another one of my customers. Prick. Don't you feel bad, John Doe? Have a little bit of shame, you know what I mean?
He opened the conversation. He was talking about what his subscribers, what questions they asked him.
Yeah.
He was wondering why they don't ask him about women.
Yeah, I think that was the last thing I heard before I joined.
Why they don't ask you about women? Because you guys don't know shit about women.
Can we get Petey back on the show? Because that was actually an interesting conversation.
Peter, come on back on.
Yeah, come on back.
I'll get rid of John Doe if you come on.
Oh, what have to do with the other?
Oh shit! I'm sorry, but I had to say that. I don't know what made me say it, but I just did it.
Jerry made you say it. Jerry made you say it.
I was being so nice to him, biting my tongue, being a nice guy to Peter.
I was gonna get rid of John Doe and Richard if Peter comes.
Oh, he's gonna get rid of it.
2 for the price of 1. Is that what it is?
Yeah. Get rid of his censor.
That's all right. I'll
Sorry,
go.
man.
My wife is
No,
good to
no.
go. I'll go have some fun. Fuck this.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Peter, seriously, if you want to come back on, I'll get rid of John Doe, Seth, everybody. I'll even get off if you come back on.
You'll even put on a pair of pants.
Tell me to put a tutu on and dance around.
Hey,
Like you
I
did
already
today.
got one on. Hi, Sky Dragon. We had Sherliner on. How you doing, Sherliner? If you're still with us, we got a couple of celebrities around. We got around 33 people. So welcome to the show. Come on, Aloe. Don't be a chicken shit and just come on. Everybody wants to hear your squeaky ass voice. So come on.
Come on, Aloe. Quit being a pussy.
Let me see if I can
I
imitate
never
him.
said that.
This
I
is
wouldn't.
Aloe de Winter. This is Aloe de Winter, live from Switzerland, Geneva, Switzerland. How are you all?
He ain't in Switzerland no more. He's with Seth. Seth is Aloe.
That was a decent German accent. It wasn't bad. I would give it a
There you
6.5.
are.
He does a better
No,
Indian.
Seth, you're almost right here. Just come here. Come here. Hop on the show. Hey, buddy. See, Sherlina even said hello to
Aloe
me.
won't do it because everybody's
Come on,
begging.
Aloe.
Tell him don't come on the show. Then he'll come on.
But yeah, then later on he's gonna talk to me, asking him how come I wasn't nice to him. I'm trying to be nice to you, buddy. Just come on, little buddy. You can do it. Oh, heck yeah. Had a pretty decent day. Had a day very good all the way until my aunt came home saying about the car and the deer jumping in front of us.
Pablo? No, Mr. Cadanian is from France originally, right, Jerry? Sky Dragon thought Aloe was French.
No, he's from Armenia.
Bonjour.
Armenia.
Bonjour.
Buongiorno.
That's
That-
Italian.
Buongiorno.
That's Italian, bro.
Hey Jerry, are you in the Philippines right now?
No, he's home. He's
No,
home.
I just got back. I just got back, Seth.
Oh, nice. How long were you here for?
You know what? I was only there a couple of weeks, but you know what's kind of interesting? I did a Facebook friend, some guy named Andre.
Oh, yeah. I know who you're talking about. What's up?
This guy was a nut, man.
Yeah, it ended that relationship.
Did you guys got to soak him for some money?
Oh,
Think, you know,
so well, the story is here's the story. So Andre and B Adventures traveled together, and I won't go into the details, but I mean, talk about two conflicting personalities. These guys, yeah, I don't know, man. These guys, they were just as completely different as you can get. And
really?
so you ended up meeting Andre. You're saying?
No,
Jerry.
I didn't meet the guy. I just, you know what? I'm just doing like what you guys are doing with the social media, with the Facebook and stuff. You know, friending people.
Yeah.
And then I just happened to friend this dude, and he was saying, yeah, you know, I was in Angeles City, and I go, oh, yeah. He goes, yeah, and then he was mentioned that he took you guys out to dinner and stuff like that, you and Tuck and whatever. He goes, you know, I spent like 6,000 pesos and this and that and blah, blah, blah. I go, well, I don't know, man. What do you want me to tell you? You took out celebrities, man. It's going to cost you, you know.
Oh, man. Are you kidding me? Yeah, someone else told me it's, you know, that kind of pissed me off because someone else told me something similar. Basically, let me clear the air.
Well, he's kind of, no, I don't care. He's kind of a nut.
Yeah, well, let me clear the air for you guys. So basically I was with Tuck and he was there, and he was like, let me take you guys out. And what I told him is I said, I don't really like when people take me out. I was like, no, I'm good. Because Lynn and I were going to go to Chinese food. And he insisted, oh, no, I'm taking you guys out. This is my treat.
Yeah, he plays the millionaire kind of dude.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. So I said, okay. I mean, like literally, like he wouldn't stop. So I said, all right, like if you want, you can take us out. That's fine. And then,
hey, hello. Shut up.
Again, let him finish his story. Let him finish his story.
Well, then what I realized is he already ate lunch. Like him and Tuk Tuk already ate lunch. So then I literally said, "Hey, bro, nah, if you're not eating, I don't want you just fucking sitting at the table with us and paying for us. That's not gonna happen." And I told him no. And then he just kept no. He said, "No, motherfucker. I won't accept no for an answer. I'm taking you out, and that's the deal." And literally, like, he literally like got aggressive. He said, like, "Fuck you, buddy. I'm taking you out."
Guy.
What's that?
What's
Hello?
that, Kev? What's that?
Is he asexual like B Adventure?
No. I mean, this guy.
Was he with a girlfriend? Was he with a girl?
Yeah, not when he was with me, but I think he has like some lady friends he meets. I don't know. But the point was, I didn't even want a lunch, and I made it very clear I don't want a lunch. Lynn and I are going to Chinese food, and we're getting these fucking shrimps that we had already planned to get. And he insisted, "No, motherfucker, I'm taking you out, and that's that, and I'm not eating, but you guys are eating, and I'm gonna sit at the table and watch." And I'm like, how fucking awkward.
This guy, you know what, Seth? This guy was talking about he spent like 10 grand in like, I don't know, 2 months or 3 months.
Yeah, I don't know, but the point of the story is, he took us out to lunch. It was probably, I don't know, it was maybe like 1,000 or 1,500 pesos, whatever it was what I was gonna. Yeah, what I was going to spend either way. Now, where I'm getting at with this story is, then he started talking about to other people how he spent all this money on Says,
you guys,
blah, blah. And I'm just like, I said, okay, now I'm fucking pissed, because now like this guy is just talking about all this bullshit. I didn't even want his fucking, like, I told him, and Tuk Tuk can vouch. I told him, if you're not going to eat, you're not fucking coming with us to lunch. Like, I told him that like 3 times. No, treat me, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so I like the guy. Don't get me wrong. Like, he's part of my like Facebook group. I like the guy.
You know, but
it pisses.
You know what? But guys, Seth, guys like Aloe, I don't know if I like guys like Aloe. You know, they get on my fucking nerves all the time and shit.
Oh, no one likes guys like Aloe. I mean, Aloe's a total prick.
Aloe better hurry up and say something. That's
Okay, yeah. Hello, everybody. Do you guys hear me well?
Yeah, we can hear you.
We don't hear you very well. We don't hear you very well. Let me see if I can get your accent down now.
Richard, shut up. Go ahead, Aloe.
Welcome. Yeah, thank you for having me on the show, Big Kev. I know that you asked me a lot of times to come on the show, and now I'm here. Just want to say hello to everybody. That's it. And just listen.
All right, buddy.
I'm trying to get Aloe to call you a cunt.
You're a cunt.
I'll tell you, Germans are amazing how they can speak Swiss. Excuse me, how they can speak English. Amazing.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys talk to Aloe. I got to go upstairs. So, hey, take him at home. Don't be a shit.
Talk about what? Talk about what?
I don't know, drugs, sex, rock and roll. I don't know.
Talk to Aloe. You guys just be good. I'll be right back.
All right.
Talk about rock and roll.
Okay, man. We'll play nice.
How you been, Aloe?
Yeah, no, Aloe.
Everything good?
Good. Yeah, good. I want to say hello to everybody in the chat room because it has been a while, like Randall and all these guys, and of course, I want to say thank you to Big Kev here, you know, because he was quite consistent with his request to say hello, coming on the show, and so on and so forth. And I thought, yeah, just saying. Also to Sir Liner, who just left the comment there. Says, what's up with you? I mean, people ask, where is he? What is he doing? I just saw that you put out the vlog like 2 or 3 days ago.
Yep. It's funny because I hear about my life, Aloe, through I guess right now, like through other people. Yeah, I guess the latest is I've been robbed. This time it was not by ladyboys. Who robbed me this time?
I don't know.
I think you lived in some bad neighborhood or something.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny. I actually did move. The fact that I moved is actually true. I did recently move, but it was to a nicer place in a nicer neighborhood. So,
where to what place did you move to?
I'm actually in the same neighborhood. You know Malabanias?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I got really lucky. So I've been so busy with work. That's why I haven't done the YouTube thing. But if you could guess, I was also too busy to look for housing. And I knew even since I went back to the States, I knew that my old place that I would eventually have to move out because they told me that they were selling it, like the whole complex. So, even when I came back here, I think, I was in the States for like 3.5 weeks. That was miserable. But I came back about 2 months ago, and I knew I had to move, but I'm such a procrastinator and I was so busy, I just couldn't get around to it. So I waited, of course, to the
But how much do you pay now for that? How much do
right
you pay
now,
for the new place?
right now I'm actually paying 17, but it's supposed to go down because I signed a longer lease. So yeah, man, it's the whole deal.
Or what it is? Give us the.
Yeah, I guess you would call it. I would call it a condo. That's what I would call it.
A condominium. And how big is it?
I'm not good with these measurements, but if I were to throw out a random fucking number, I'm gonna say 75 to 100 square meters.
Oh wow, that's not bad. And did you do a blog about it already?
No. Basically, what I've been doing is because I've just been working on the website stuff, right? So in regards to the vlogging, I haven't even had the time to do like the personal vlogs. Okay. Maybe I'll do a vlog, but I don't know. It's a nice place, man. I mean, my old place was pretty nice too. I liked it, but what I really like about this place is it's brand new. Everything's brand new. So, sometimes when you get like a furnished place, you're like, how many prostitutes slept in this bed? How many prostitutes were killed in this bed? You just don't know. Right. So this place, you don't have to worry about that because everything's new. It hasn't been touched.
Yeah, because I'm always very interested about stuff like that, because I want to get the feeling for the market up in Angeles again, because I'm looking to advertise more of my units, and it seems that, as you know, OLX has changed a lot. So I'm always curious about what you get for that price right now.
How much? Let me ask you, and you don't have to tell me this if it's too personal, but how much is the person paying at your place?
They pay me around 8,500, 9,000, something like that.
Oh, that's really low. Sure. That's low.
Because I always want to really offer something that's really easy to rent out for that price, because I don't want it to sit empty for long, So actually, my strategy is I wanna have a tenant as fast as possible, and that's what I did. And the lady in Angeles City is actually going into the 3rd year now. She just emailed my wife a couple of weeks ago that she will continue to rent it, and I'm really happy about that. But I was a little bit worried about what was going on in the OLX, because it's very important that you get your advertisements out there. And since you are also working in that field right now with Find It Angeles, just let's put it out there, where you can also look into ads for rentals. I was really curious about, what are the big players right now in the Philippines. And I always come down, I always get to 3-4 different names. It's like Property 24, La Moody, OLX, and I think it's a couple of others. But I mean, these are the big ones, right? I mean,
yeah, those are the big players. And Lacanto is the big one.
Lacanto.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, yeah, but here's the deal. I mean, because property is a big market, if I can get my site up with those big players, I mean, that means it's a success. That's gonna be a hard task, I'll be honest with you, because those guys, those sites aren't even good. But the thing those guys are doing right is they're a big name and they drive a lot of traffic. So I commend them for that. This is really funny. I'm reading the comments. Raymond says the guy, the legless guy on the board with wheels robbed me. That guy's been around Angeles City. Since the first day I ever came here back in 2011. I saw that guy, and he's still around Walking Street to this day, Raymond. Jimmy Dury says, I heard Cez got robbed at his old place. Now, I'll be honest with you guys, I haven't been robbed at all. I mean, if I got robbed, how would I have my computer? How would I have my phone? I mean, this kind of shit's ridiculous.
Maybe that's why you're not with us no more. Is because you got robbed. You're borrowing.
I got robbed. Yeah, no, I mean, I still, if I got robbed, how come I'm still on this old shitty 2009 MacBook Pro? No, I already knew. I mean, I think I mentioned this even before I came back to the Philippines that I already knew that my old place was sold. So I had to move. The robbing thing, John Doe says I was robbed of my cherry ass. Yeah, maybe that was true. I don't know. But I might have been sleeping. But these guys, when you guys get together, you are like a sewing circle of old grannies. Yeah, like, yeah, let's say, you know, I heard, you know, well, fuck, man. Thank you. I mean, I'll tell you guys, luckily, I haven't been robbed because it does actually happen quite often. You know, I know some people in Angeles City who have had their houses broken into, and it's definitely a concern of mine. So luckily, knock on fucking wood, yeah, no, it hasn't happened to me yet.
Wow.
Where's Roberto done, by the way?
Roberto's taking a little needed rest. He's getting ready. He's getting ready to go back to the Philippines and have a birthday bash with his brother.
He's looking for me. That's what he's doing.
Sky Dragon says, I'm borrowing Pete's stuff. I'm borrowing Pete's computer, and that's why Pete had to hop off.
He can afford a MacBook Pro, huh?
Yeah, that would actually be pretty funny. Yeah,
oh, yeah?
By the way, I can't believe Pete hopped off right when I hopped on. I mean, I'm a little bit offended, I'll be honest.
Well,
I don't know if it had to do with I don't know if it had to do with me hopping on or with John Doe grilling him about, about the ladies.
It was John Doe who scared him a little bit. You know?
Yeah, I think it was John Doe.
John Doe, he's been fucking up for a while now. I mean, Roberto doesn't want to kick his ass. Roberto want to kick Popeye's ass, and he also wants to kick.
Why is Roberto mad at John Doe? I forgot.
I don't know. You gotta ask. I don't know. You know, and now Roberto's angry at me because I have all these people on board that.
Wait, I can hop in here. I mean, I don't know why Roberto's mad at John Doe, but if I were to guess, it's because John Doe's kind of a dick.
Exactly.
And what are you?
sorry, John.
Sorry,
John.
You don't gotta be mean about
I
it.
saw an opportunity.
That's better than what you usually say.
Yeah, I actually like that. John, you've been, from my understanding, you've actually been on a lot of these live shows now. Now, here's my question, because I like that you're on these live shows, but why did you have to wait until I stopped doing my live shows to start coming on? Because I would have had you on as a guest. I like John Doe.
Well, I didn't have a headset to use. I finally dug one up.
Okay. Because you've been pretty much, you've been on Big Kev.
Don't give him flattery. Don't do that.
This kind of shit makes you mad. Here, Big Kev, here's why this kind of shit makes me mad. Because let's all remember, let's all go back to, I think I did a video. This is at least like 8 or 9 months ago. It was called The Game Changer, when I introduced that I am going to do these live shows. And I'm going to be interviewing different, expats, different YouTubers. So let's not forget that, Big Kev. What I'm trying to say is I fucking created you, okay, motherfucker?
Oh, how did I know that was going to come around?
Yeah, no. So here's what pisses me off. We got all these other guys who are getting better guests than I was able to get. So, for example, we got John. You were able to get John Doe. Fucking Aloe Winter was able to get Psychosis. Like, these are quality people who I would have loved to have on my show, but wasn't able to obtain them. So, you could kind of feel my frustration here, right?
That's why you don't come on to have any more shows, because of me. Thank you.
I'm not going on, Kev, until you abolish your show. That's what I'm telling you. Until this show implodes, I'm not coming back.
That's right. Make the show great again.
No, I'm just screwing around with you guys. I mean, I think it's really cool that Big Kev has gained such a following after coming on my show. So I think this is really cool, to be honest. I mean, I love Big Kev's show. This is a good group of people. I genuinely, even though I usually insult all of you, I genuinely do like you all.
Hey, we have a lot of good people on. A couple of days ago, I had Johnny Warrior on the show. I had to put John Doe on time on timeout, and I think he learned his lesson. I think he learned his lesson by now.
Could someone please read Jack Dempsey's comment? I mean, this is talk about a quality comment. I think this goes to Jack Dempsey, the best comment of the night. Kevin, if you want to read that comment.
What does Jack Dempsey had to say?
Oh, want me to read it for you?
Read it out loud, Kev.
Oh, God, the room's gone too fast now. Oh, shit.
Okay, I'll go ahead and read it. I'll go ahead and read it. This is
I just need to hop off now, and just want to say thank you very much for having me on, and I look forward to talk to all of you guys soon, and also thank you very much for the guys to support in the live chat. So I got to go, and have fun, guys. Okay.
Later.
Take care, Alan.
I appreciate it.
Thanks for coming by, man.
When are you going to come back to civilization?
I'm not sure yet, but I let you know as soon as I know more about it. I'm still here in Switzerland. I'm planning to do a trip to Australia, and then I don't know what comes after that, but all options are open. But I let you guys know, okay?
All right, buddy. Hey, be safe always and be good. Thanks, buddy, for coming on.
Okay, thank you very much. Bye-bye, guys.
Okay, so Kev, stop trying to change the subject because this comment is being read. Okay, so if we could all listen. So best comment of the night or morning or wherever the fuck you're at goes to Mr. Jack Dempsey. He says, Kev, I live by you. Is it possible you can contact me as I have a strong desire to put my genitals up your buttocks?
Oh, my God. That's the right joke for that.
Seth is jealous.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you could come by and I'll give you my address, you sick fuck.
Once in a while, Kev, the majority of commenters are just degenerates. I think we could all agree on that. But once in a while,
evidently, he didn't see my new AR-15 that I was just.
Yeah, you want to come by Kevin's show? Jeez.
Yeah, once in a while you get these little nuggets of gold, from the commenters. So I commend Mr. Jack Dempsey.
Thanks, guys. Jack Dempsey. No.
I'll pass on that.
Hey guys, I'll be right back. My cat looks like he's about to piss on my couch, so I'll be right back.
So let him piss on your couch.
That fucking cat in the stage.
You like the couch more than you like the cat?
Kevin likes kitty cats too.
Well, I like it's called Kit Kats. There's a difference,
Rando's saying, holy shit, Kevin plays hard to get.
Gotta get the pussy off the couch.
Oh man, these guys are off the hook.
Playing hard to get. Don't give in. Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Appreciate that. Back. It was just a little bit of urine. It's okay.
Oh. Yeah. Hey. I'm glad. Mr. Dempsey made your day.
Yeah. Is Jack Dempsey? Is this dude a
No, this is the first time I seen him. So. You bring out kind of like a special kind of crowd when you come out. You know that?
Wow.
I like two things about that comment. I like that he used the word genitals because I use that word often, and I like that he used the word buttocks. Yeah, I mean these are great words. He's obviously an intelligent person.
Well, he must have heard that I lost weight, so I'm losing weight in my ass. So it's not the same anymore.
Right, man? Yeah.
Sky Dragon. I hope you're getting amused by this. Get him buy you dinner. Appreciate. Well, maybe he could leave a tip too. I'll wait for him in the car.
Hey, Kev, let me ask you an important question.
What's that, buddy?
I think last time I was active on YouTube, and once again, this is like a couple months ago, I think a lot of people were hating you. Like they just didn't like you. Yeah, I'm just going to say that. A lot of people didn't like you and they were saying, you know, fuck this guy, Big Kev. Is that still going on, or are you friends with everyone now?
No, I think what do you call it? Blacklisted them. But that's why I have a lot of quality people on my show now. Because a lot of those haters, maybe they went on another show. But, well, matter of fact, today's the first time we have some of these new people that popped in. When you came in, they followed you, buddy.
You know, I think these are people who probably already listened to your show, but then I come on and they're like, you know what? I'm going to talk about genitals. Something sparks in their mind.
Well, you know, I mean,
but no, I mean, on a serious note, Kev, like, because there were a lot of people that the last time I checked, and once again, there's a couple months ago, but the last time I checked, there was a little bit of conflict revolved around you and your show and who you brought on your show. Is that kind of all squashed now? Was that addressed?
That was squashed until Peter just came back on my show. But other than that, no, we've been having very, very decent nights. We've been having pretty good following lately. Can't complain.
Yeah, man, 31 people watching. That's those are good numbers, man.
Right now, I'm at a pretty good number right now. I'm at around 460. So maybe 462. So that's pretty good. I mean,
yeah,
can't complain.
The vibe I get with your following, Kev, is like although it's not like an extremely large number, you probably have a quality following. It's not about quantity, right? Like the people who do follow you are avid followers, and I think you bring a pretty consistent group of folks to the show.
Well, I changed some of my tactics, and people been hanging out with us a little bit more stronger following.
Yeah.
Like I said, I mean, maybe people just start getting used to me and they're feeling comfortable, and there's nobody else around. So
yeah, the only piece of constructive criticism, or I guess suggestion, that I would give is, what the fuck is Richard still doing here?
hey, leave Richard alone because he's my backbone of my show. He is my spine. He's my lymph. No, Richard is very nice. His wife keeps him in line, so he's doing pretty well.
I had to take the opportunity because I know Richard's a good guy. Yeah, I know Richard's a good guy, and I had to take the opportunity to give him a little bit of a, just fuck with him a little bit.
Well, Richard is usually drunk by now. This is probably his 6th beer, and he's been doing good, but sometimes I think he's smoking a carton a day now, but I'm not holding that against him, Yeah,
wait, is Richard kind of let me ask you, is Richard, would you say he's kind of your co-host at this point, Kev?
Well, yeah, Roberto took a hike because of Mr. John Doe.
John, what'd you say to him?
Well, they had a spat. John Doe, I mean, yeah, it's a long story,
Sky Dragon says, we're just hoping to get blocked. That's the only reason they stopped by.
Yeah. Well, like I said, Roberto said he's going to be a little bit busy for a while. He's going to go back to his brother's going to have a birthday party. So they're going to have a birthday, his twin brother. So he's going to go back, and hopefully he'll be back later on and see what happens when he comes back.
What was the beef between John Doe and Roberto? John, do you want to fill us in?
Don't be shy.
Don't be shy, John. Did everyone just fucking leave? I mean, I was talking about Richard, no response. I'm talking about John.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I went downstairs.
We were talking about you, Richard, and I made a joke which wasn't that funny at all. No one laughed. But
I stuck up for you, buddy.
Yeah. I basically
said that guy's a real fucking asshole. He thinks he's funny.
I said, the show's going really well, but I just have one question: what the fuck's Richard still doing here?
I hear you.
Yeah.
I said you're the spine of my show.
Yeah, then I said, I'm just fucking around. Richard's a good guy, and we all know that. But no, what I'm trying to figure out, Richard, maybe you could help us. What was the beef between John Doe and Roberto?
I'm trying to think. Maybe John Doe's views. He doesn't believe in marriage. I don't think John has ever been married before. And he might have said something maybe a little bit.
Why don't we ask John Doe?
That didn't sit well with Roberto. Maybe Roberto works a lot. Works a lot of hours and everything. So and Kevin, because we couldn't figure why Roberto he's a good guy. Roberto's a good guy.
Yeah. I like Roberto, and that's why I'm kind of curious. Like, I think it'd be interesting to know kind of the summary of what happened. Now, I know John Doe, Roberto's probably not the first person to get upset with John. I've heard Jerry and John.
No,
I've heard Jerry and John go back and forth before.
That's right, John. If you're there.
I think John's busy masturbating.
Where you at, John?
I think he is.
John Doe, you still with us, or did you fall asleep?
He's here. No, I didn't have a problem with John. I think we might have had a little spat one time. Nothing major, though.
Gun Term says we don't have all night to fill you in on Miss Drama. Don't stay away for months, and you know what's up, mofo. He's right. I mean, it's totally my bad. Totally my bad. I hop in here out of nowhere, and I'm like, yo, guys, fill me in on the past 2 months.
Sky Dragon says it was something about Roberto thinking John Doe saying Filipinos were only good for cooking, cleaning, and sex.
You know what? That doesn't surprise me because I've heard John Doe kind of imply that before. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Come on, John. Don't be a pussy now. All the way up to this point, you were never a pussy.
Be disconnected or something.
No, maybe he's.
John Doe, you still awake?
Maybe he's a Cubs fan. I know he's from Queens, New York, but maybe he's a Cubs fan. He's watching the Cubs play.
Could be.
John Doe, you there? I'm going to bump you.
Are the Cubs winning by any chance?
Put you on timeout?
Yeah, 3-1.
Can we talk about this? Can we talk about this whole baseball thing real quick? Because it sounds like we have some baseball fans in the room, and I'm just going to make a statement. It might offend some people. I think baseball on TV. Let me clarify. I think baseball on TV is one of the most fucking boring things to watch. Now, in person, baseball games are really fun, mainly because there's beer and nachos. But it's just one of those sports I cannot watch on TV.
I concur.
Well, golf is pretty boring.
Yeah. It's friggin' expensive to go to a game, though.
It is. It is. Yeah, I haven't gone to that many games, but I used to go to I've been to like a couple of Giants games. I've been to a couple Dodger games. And in person, they're really fun.
Going twice.
Yeah, the Dodgers are doing pretty good this year, too.
Is this like the first time in history? I thought the Dodgers were a pretty shitty team. Now, I don't know anything about baseball, so correct me if I'm wrong.
No, the Dodgers have a history of winning. They just in recent years they haven't done well, but this year they've done very well.
Okay.
Years.
Now
the Dodgers have.
When I was in San Francisco, the Giants were killing it. There was I think it was 3 years in a row, or almost 3 years in a row. They were killing it.
Oh yeah. Naturally, both teams came from the Big Apple.
Ooh, there you go. a little bit of history for you.
He is. But
So-
they went to the #1 state in the United States, California. 39 million people there. Can you believe that?
Wow.
Friggin' some countries don't have 39 million people, man. Like Canada, Australia.
Gun Term says John Doe will be back. He's taking his Geritol. Yeah, he's got he's mixing up some Metamucil. Yeah. Okay. Go on, Richard. So, but Richard, so you seem like you're a baseball fan.
I like.
Yeah. Well, I was my grandfather, who was born in 1890, was born in Baltimore. He was a friggin' Yankee fan.
Oh yeah.
And my father was a Yankee fan. I was born into it. So
it's in your blood.
Yeah, it's in my blood. I mean, my father forced me to be into it, as a kid. But I love the game. You know what I mean? It's maybe because of my age, but it seems like the millennials today are not really that into it. It's kind of an older game.
I will say this. I think this was last year's. Is it called the World Series? The final one, right? The World Series. This was last year's World Series, and I remember it being the most intense game. So I will I will take back what I said about baseball, because I was watching that game and I felt the tension, you know what I mean? I forgot what happened. It rained or something, and they had to pause it at the very end, and it was crazy. But then I forget what the teams were. Do you remember the game I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It was like
I actually had
is boring.
It was Cleveland Indians and the Chicago Cubs. Yeah,
Cubs and Indians.
It was it was like the game of the century. It was crazy.
Yep, they're both very good teams last year. Yeah, very, very good. The Cubs are in it again, or close to it, this year.
I'm gonna have some medicine if it's okay with you guys, because we're kind of off from the subject that I was on. So I figured, if I just pop a couple of pills, things will make
make the subject better. I was gonna say, the reason Kev likes baseball is because his head looks like a baseball.
Not messed up. It's like a beach ball, buddy.
What else? The guy, he's a cartoon character. He's got a head like a football.
Isn't that messed up? That's Richard. I expected that from Seth, but I didn't expect that from you.
No, I didn't say you did. I said the cartoon character.
I bumped John Doe off because maybe he was fell asleep and I didn't want to.
Oh, so now
take off some space. So
I don't
just
let
him.
Feelings get hurt. So
I mean, I just hope I don't hurt his feelings. I put him in the quiet room, quiet room the other day for 300 seconds. He was in a timeout.
I did too. Yeah,
that worked pretty good.
Yeah.
Hey, Kev, oh, go ahead, Richard.
I most of the time I laugh at a lot of stuff John says, because a lot of times I think he's talking to hear himself. You know what I mean?
He's almost a loose cannon.
I think he's trying to entertain people, by what he says.
Well, sometimes you got to put people in their place just to be nice. So, Seth, what were you saying?
Well, what I was gonna say, is I agree with Sky Dragon, because he said what's even more boring about watching baseball is talking about baseball. I agree. So I want to change the subject, and the subject I want to change it to is, can we get Petey back in the room? Kev, I mean, as the host, I think you're gonna have to do a little.
I think Peter skipped.
You're gonna have to do a little bit of work on your end. Why don't you just send him a note? Be like, "Yo, come on back."
I'll try to do some of my magic, okay? Because you don't know what he's gonna go. You don't know what he's doing. I don't know what he's doing. You don't know what
Peter was saying earlier.
He could be in an angry mood, because you guys make him. You guys make fun of him, and I tell him that they're just joking, but because I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Sky Dragon, just hand him back the computer.
Here's John. John's back in the house. Richard Lee, not entertainment. Some don't recognize facts.
Hey, Derek. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for watching.
Gunterm says, I have to start drinking to listen to baseball talk.
Hey, guys, I got to skip out of here, man. Some of us work for a living.
Yeah.
So I got to get out of
I know.
here.
I got work.
Hey, Jerry, did you like, did any of that stuff that I sent you, did that make sense to you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I started using the thumbnail, part of it. I bought the $9 package just to see what that was like. And then I kind of just manipulated a thumbnail that I put on this video I just downloaded today, uploaded today. So yeah, you just got to play around with the software and stuff. And, I got to figure out how to do the tags, how to, all them recommended tags. I got to figure out how to import the recommended tags into my video. I can't figure that out yet, but I got to play around with it. So,
well, if you want me to walk you through it, like on one of the days, just give me a call and I'll walk through it with you.
Yeah, that'll be cool. I'm sure it's really simple. Yeah, I'll probably call you during the day.
If I can do it, you can do it.
Cool. All right, guys, it's been a pleasure.
Okay, Jerry, have a good one.
Thanks for coming on.
All right, Jerry.
Later, guys. See you, Seth. Take care, guys.
Yep. Yeah, I just threw him a link. He gave me his private room, so on Facebook. So I just threw him a link. So maybe.
Kev, I have an important question for you. So you pretty much do a live show every day or every night. Is that correct?
No, I've been doing Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, but sometimes I might sneak in during the daytime if nobody's on, like around, if nobody's on, like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, I'll come in right before I take a nap, just like 30 minutes, 40 minutes. But if it's a good show, because Johnny Warrior came on and I was on for 3 hours.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, what I'm wondering is, because you've been doing it. I mean, you've been doing it for a while. I'd say at least probably like, 3 or 4 months, right? How do you still have stuff to talk about? Because that was my biggest downfall, is I would choose a topic, right? And I went for, I'd say, a good 2 months strong, almost doing it every day. Not every day, but almost every day. And then I came to a point where I'm like, I have nothing else to say. I have nothing to talk about. So how have you kept it going? I mean, what, you guys just talk about nothing?
That's why, like on tonight, on Wednesdays, I'm doing talk about my past, and from my childhood. Now we're up to my I'm in fishing in Dutch Harbor, commercial crabbing in Dutch Harbor. So we're talking about that. We talked about when I was a bouncer. So we're doing a little bit of like one-on-one discussion, and then you popped your head in and messed up my night, but that's okay. We're on number 2 hours now, so yeah. But about the, sometimes like I have the beginning. We have a beginning of a show, and then after a while, I just let it run wild. And the longer I'm on, the more people is coming on. So it's kind of interesting. Sometimes we have a small following. Sometimes we have a big following. Like right now, we got 28. We were up to 33. So it just depends on the day.
I would say if you wanted to boost it, you could do a little promotion.
Yeah, there's always something to talk about, Sometimes I let everybody just run wild with it, and have some of these people come on, and sometimes we throw mud at each other and some. But I've been trying to pretty much keep it civil, because I don't want to run away. I don't want too many people to get offended and get their but I don't want nobody to get mad. And
I like Sky Dragon's comment. Tell us about your
what
days.
did Sky Dragon say?
Tell us about your days as a poor black child, Kev. Yeah, about your your childhood.
Where was that Steve Martin in that movie? Who grew up?
Tell us about the
Great movie, Richard. It was called
Hey,
The Jerk.
Hey, don't joke like that. Sky Dragon. My mom and dad, we adopted a pot black, pot white baby. So and it wasn't me. So
you have an adopted brother, Kev.
Yeah, my mom and dad adopted a little baby. Well, all of us kids are adopted, but my parents adopted a pot white, pot black baby.
Hey, I'll be back in a second, guys. My cat's freaking out again. I'll be right back.
Give it a little bit of rat poisoning. Mix it in kibbles and bits.
Think his pussy's getting out of control.
Hey, John. Okay, I was looking at another thing. I'm sorry. I'm bad. Yeah.
Yeah, Roger finally made it, and he said he had to go to immigration today.
Who went to immigration?
Roger Middler.
No, I'm not offended, buddy. I know you don't know. Yeah. My family, my parents, we adopted a little baby girl. She's part Yakima Indian, part Japanese. We got a little bit of everybody in my family, so we got a little bit of like a United Nations.
We have
my brother and I. We came from Massachusetts.
Is that common with Mormons, Kevin? Is that common with Mormons? Remember the guy that ran for president? He was a Mormon. Didn't he have like a bunch of black kids and white kids and Indians? And what was his name?
You're talking about that billionaire guy?
Yeah. He was.
I know who you're talking about, but he's the governor of Massachusetts.
He was. Yeah. Mitt Romney. Mitt
Romney. Yeah.
Whatever happened to him?
Well, evidently he's doing pretty good. I mean, I don't know if he's still governor or not, but
no, I don't think so. No. He was years ago when he was governor, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Because I know in Utah they had the winter games there, and things wasn't going good, and it was falling apart, and he took over and made it all good again.
Yeah, I think his father was some big wig in one of the big three automobile companies in Detroit or something.
Yeah. I don't. He would buy a company and then chop it up and resell it or make it better. He owned a couple of these big name companies.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Mark.
Here's a funny comment. Mr. Mark E. Venus says your shows were boring and you are a wannabe control freak. I would agree. That is an accurate statement, Mark. But all I'm going to say is at least my name doesn't rhyme with penis.
Yeah. Hey, Jack Dempsey, I think it might be time for you to go. I don't like the stuff he's saying.
Yeah, that guy's being
Yeah, I don't know who you are, buddy. So
I truly don't look at the race of people. To me, there's human race. That's it. I don't care about people's skin color or anything. I really don't.
Well, I don't like it when people come on and start talking stupid shit.
Yeah.
Dubious James says stands for sexually enigmatic.
Yeah, I just got rid of Jack Dempsey. What are we speaking about?
So, hey, Malcolm, you said you're kind of a new player in the live streams. What's your story? What got you interested in the Philippines?
Well, I actually had a longtime friend in high school, and I haven't talked to him in years, and we finally met up here on the East Coast in my city, my hometown, and we just got it started talking, and one thing led to another. He said, "Hey, man, well, I've been out of the country," and he suggested me the Philippines, and I met some friends online, and one thing led to another, and I eventually went this past April. So
Nice.
with a buddy, so I really
Nice. Where'd you travel to?
Well, when we first got there, we stayed in Lucena, which is, I would say, almost an hour away from Manila. Then after that, of course, we went deep into the province. Goddamn 7-8 hour drive. Oh man. So
Yeah. Was it one of those buses?
Yeah.
Yep. I know all about it, man. Sometimes you get lucky, and actually the bus can be like, I've taken like a lot of Victory liners or a 5-star bus, and they're pretty nice actually.
Yeah.
But then if you get one of the ones without aircon, man, it's a nightmare.
Oh yeah, you got to take them in the middle of the night too, right? If you want to go anywhere.
Oh yeah, no, it could be a nightmare for sure. I mean, they roll down the windows, and you got all this dust up in there, and it's just like, yeah, man, yeah. I paid the extra, what is it, like 40 pesos for the aircon.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that makes it a lot better. One of those aircon buses, they got movies on them.
Yeah, we took one from Cebu City all the way down to the tip when we were there in April, and it took like 4 friggin' hours to go about 50 miles.
Where were we going to? Bantayan?
I forget where the hell we went to, but if we had Sentai 7 said if you go at nighttime, it only takes like a couple hours, less than a couple hours,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
On that road.
We took we were going to Bantayan, Lynn and I, one time, and I think it's supposed to take 2 hours, and it took 4 hours. I mean, we had traffic, and when you hit that traffic, it's just miserable.
Yeah.
I know. My wife and I and the kids were sitting in the back seat, and but pretty boring for 4 hours.
Yeah, Gypsy says, but the aircon buses are mobile ice boxes. He's right. It's like you either got the no aircon and you're dying of heat exhaustion, or you got the aircon and they're just blasting it and it's like freezing. Yeah, you're right.
I think the only thing
Gypsy, how you doing, buddy?
Only thing I didn't enjoy was the jeepney ride, man. By the time I got off that thing, I was like halfway drenched with sweat.
Oh yeah, those are pretty uncomfortable, especially when you're caught in traffic. I used to take a lot of jeepneys back when I lived in Cebu, and yeah, man, sometimes you just be stuck. Like they're not moving. It's full of people. It's pretty uncomfortable.
I just don't like the jeepney because my head always bounces off the top.
What's that, Richard?
Right.
I said, you're pretty tall, it looks like. I'm over 6 foot myself. How the hell you fit in those jeepneys?
Oh, yeah, dude, I'm scrunched up. It's really funny because, I used to take a lot. Like, I would take them to the mall all the time, and I would take them by myself. And it's funny because, number one, I get all these funny looks. Like, the hell's this guy doing on this jeepney? Number two, I'm, like, just packed. And so the jeepney system, right, where they hand you the coins. You guys know it's like they hand you the coins. Yeah. What would be really funny is for some reason I would always get that seat where I'm like the coin guy. I don't know. It would just always happen that way. And I basically was like the coin guy. So I got really used to just putting my arm out and be like, yeah, pass all over here. And then I'd be like, bayad po, to the driver. And I don't know, man. I got used to it, but definitely it can be really uncomfortable. There's been a couple times where it was just like afternoon heat. We're stuck in traffic. Cebu, it's all polluted. And it just came to a point where I'm just like, I got to get off. I got so claustrophobic. I just hopped off.
Seth, do you go in the very front or do you stay in the back?
Usually I like the back, but for some weird reason, I don't know. I always found myself getting pushed to the front because usually what I try and do Yeah, usually what I try and do is I try and hop
when
on.
I get on,
No one on.
the guy in the very back, I push his leg and I make him to move, and then I take his spot. I never move to the front because I'm too big. I'm like a hunchman walking through there. My head's banging all over the place. So I just, when I tell that one guy in the end, scoot his ass over, and I take his spot, and everything is good.
Nice. Yeah, have you ever done the spot on the way back? And I'm talking about where you're literally holding on outside. Have you ever got that spot?
Oh, yeah. I done that before.
Yeah, I've done that a couple times. That's fun, though. You're like, wee!
Yeah, it is.
Got that freedom.
It's like super dangerous, but it's fun.
Well, one time I got off, and I didn't wait for the jeepney to stop. And I got off, and my feet start bump on the ground, trying to catch myself, trying to get my balance. Yeah, don't do that again.
Yeah, now I bought a scooter, so now I'll be honest, like I love riding the scooter, and so now I don't really take trikes or jeepneys at all. I just ride my scooter all over the place, and it's way more convenient. Let me tell you guys, it's a lot more dangerous too, but
it's convenient. But if you're gonna go shopping and then you got a whole bunch of bags, it's not very convenient.
Yeah, but you make it work. I mean, so when I used to go shopping in Cebu, I would take a jeepney, and that was a pain in the ass too. You'd have all these bags, and you take them on the jeepney. So I would say it's about the same level of pain in the ass, the pain in the assness. If I were to compare them, it's like you got to take a backpack. You know, the scooter's got a hook that you could put some bags on, so it's not as bad as you would think.
I'm in Kentucky right now.
For the most part,
I haven't lived in the Philippines since right around the mid of 2014. I went to Guam, and then I went back to continental USA.
John Doe says, "Do you have a Philippine motorcycle license?" No, I don't actually. So I guess the law is that my U.S. license is good for the first 90 days that I'm here. And although that I've pretty much been living here for a year, remember, I've gone back to the States a few times. So I've only technically been here 2 months. So I'm still good for about another month.
Hey, Ben.
Nice.
Do they have a test for a motorcycle there, or you just have to pay a fee?
I heard it's pretty damn easy, man. I heard it's like you just like sign a paper. You're like, here's your license. Yeah, I don't know. I got to get mine, though. I definitely got to get it. But what's funny is you usually, like, you don't get pulled over here for there are no traffic violations unless you're driving inside Clark Air Base. You can get a traffic violation there. Like there, it's like American rules. But if you're just driving normally, just anywhere else, there are no traffic violations. I mean, there's no rules. Now, the only rule that they started recently implementing is the helmet rule, which is good, right? You should wear your helmet.
Oh, yeah.
So I actually got, the first day I got back here about 2 months ago, I actually got pulled over. It is like I just landed. I just got to Angeles City, and I rented a scooter, and within 1 minute, I got pulled over, no helmet. And I got what was fucked up is the officer told me, oh, I'm going to give you a warning. You're so lucky, blah, blah, blah. And then he gave me a ticket. So he was probably looking for a bribe, and I didn't give it to him, so I fucked up. And
he wanted lunch money.
Yeah.
What's that? What's that,
Kevin
Kev?
Said you wanted lunch money.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, he probably wanted a bribe because he kept repeating, oh, you're so lucky. I'm giving you a warning. And I'm like, thanks, man. That's great.
Yeah.
And then when I looked at the ticket, I'm like, this kind of looks like a ticket. And then, I went back to the rental place. They're like, yeah, that's a real ticket. And I'm like, no, it can't be. He told me it's a warning. So I go to the LTO, the LTO place, and they're like, yep, you owe us 1,500 pesos. And I'm like, what a dick, man. He said he gave me a warning, and he gave me a real ticket. So now, luckily, 1,500 pesos doesn't even compare to like a $400 ticket. Yeah, that's $30 compared to a ticket which would cost $400 in the States. So it wasn't a big deal. And it was actually good for me because now I use my helmet all the time. Now I'm very cognizant of that. Like, I'm always wearing my helmet.
Yeah, don't think you're lucky every day, because your luck will run out sooner or later.
I had a friend that got into some trouble with a few of the, I think it's security or policeman. He went on and saying about how corrupt they can be. I'm like, wow,
Oh yeah,
that is deep.
it's all about money there. Just hand him a
Yeah, what people
tried to
told me,
extort him.
pesos.
people told me you should always leave a couple hundred pesos behind your license when you give it to
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. Right.
So you give it to them and you're like, here you go, sir. And there's like 200 pesos. That's what people told me to do. So actually, to be honest, I don't do that, but I probably should.
Well, at least,
Yeah.
at least 500 pesos.
I usually keep some
$10
in my sock somewhere, you know.
I don't know, man. I just felt weird because, you know, I'm used to the laws in the States, and it's like bribing is a no-no in the States.
right.
You know, you never bribe. So I was just like, I don't know. I don't really know how to do it, to be honest. So I didn't even go for it.
I think that's another thing, is to familiarize yourself with the laws there.
Exactly.
Which is not too many people do, and that's one thing I should definitely do as well.
Well,
Yeah,
Philippines
it's a
is
great
like
idea.
a lawless country, but you know, when they talking to a foreigner, then all the rules change.
It's weird, man, though. There's literally no road rules. So here's my rule. Here's my rule of riding. If there is space, you just go. You just basically floor it, right?
Yeah.
So if I see an open space, and even if I'm going across 5 lanes, I just go. That's my rule. But seriously, it's like you don't stay in your lane. There's no right of way. You just go. That's the rule.
Pedestrians don't have the right of way. Get out the
funny.
fucking
No one.
way,
Yeah,
I'll run you down.
No.
Yeah, I
Fuck
think it's
no,
funny
pedestrians
because
don't. Yeah.
I've seen maybe one crash since I've been there. You know, they're very careful and diligent. Well, most of the time, but you know, it's just funny to me.
John Doe wants to know, Seth, if your USA license has a motorcycle endorsement.
What does that mean?
Got me.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I know what he means. He means your license. Do you have a motorcycle license in the States, right, John?
Sorry, guys. I had to screw with my cat again. I just got back.
We're just asking, like, do you love your cat?
Oh, it's a love-hate relationship. That's for damn sure. You know, you gotta love him, but he's a total prick.
Well, it looks like your cat is getting hair now.
No, he always had hair. He's just really ugly.
Oh, I thought he was one of those hairless cats.
What is
No,
he?
not quite. He's related. He's related to the hairless cat, but he's not a Sphinx. So Sphinx is completely hairless. He is a Cornish Rex. And they have a little bit of hair, but they're related.
Okay. Because he looks like one of those Siamese cats.
Okay.
Same family.
Yeah.
Seth, what John Doe was trying to ask you, are you licensed to drive a motorcycle in the USA?
Oh, no, I'm not. But when I showed my license to the officer, they were cool with it. Yeah, I don't know if that's legit, but they didn't ask any questions. I basically told him I just got here. My license is good for 90 days, and he's
licensed to drive a scooter.
Yeah, he seemed to agree with that. So he just gave me a normal ticket. He didn't give me like a no license ticket or anything. So, but I am actually getting a legitimate license in the very near future.
Wink, wink.
Roger.
You know, you could pay. There's a known thing, and these guys are called fixers. This is such a weird thing. So these fixer guys stand outside of LTO, and basically what they are are like illegitimate guys who get stuff done for you. But for some reason, they're like allowed to stand out there. So basically, you go to LTO and a fixer will say, "Oh, what do you need done?" And you say, "Well, I need a license." They say, "Oh, okay, I can have that for you in 1 day. Just pay me $3,000." Now, the normal cost of a license, I don't know what it is probably like way cheaper, but it will take 3 months. It will take 3 to 6 months. So a fixer will get it done for you in 1 day, but you're basically bribing them. And it's like, it's so weird because it's like, it's not like this is hidden. This is like right in your face in front of the LTO office, and they're actually working with them.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
That's cool.
So honestly, I might do that. I mean, it's $60. It might be worth it to get a license in a day as opposed to 6 months. I might do that.
Well, just make sure it's guaranteed.
I'm pretty fearful of riding in the Philippines, let alone riding a scooter.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Malcolm. I'll tell you, man. I went about, I've been coming to the Philippines since 2011, and I was always scared shitless. I'm like, there's no way I'm driving. Like I'm not doing it, right? Because I had never ridden, a motorcycle or a scooter in the States. But what was weird is I went through this really weird transition where the more and more I visit the Philippines, I really like envied the scooter and motorcycle riders. I'm like, I want one.
Right.
I don't know why. I'm like, I want one. And then finally, like one day I just got the balls to rent one. And I'll be honest, I mean, every day, like I almost died for like 2 months. And it's still probably to this day. But, I've been riding for about, I'd say 4 or 5 months now, and you get used to it, man. You just get used to the driving habits, and I will admit it's pretty fun for someone who's never ridden in his life. It's really fun.
Right. I think they really like their like off-road vehicles as well, because I've seen a few dirt bikes and I think ATVs down there, so that's something I might want to do next time.
Yeah, I've actually seen guys, like you said, Malcolm, I've seen guys with giant dirt bikes, and I think that is the perfect kind of vehicle to have here because, there's so many potholes.
Well, is it a dirt bike or is it one of those enduros?
I don't know. It's like a big, it looks like it looks like what it looks like is those bikes that people do the huge like jumps on. You know what I'm talking about? Like the motocross. That's what it looks like.
Right.
So
because
I think that's
don't need to have it street legal.
I don't think they're street legal, but I think honestly that's the perfect bike to have here because I got the scooter. Now my scooter's nice, man. It's a nice scooter. It's the Yamaha Mio Soul, and it's actually kind of cool because it doesn't look as gay. Yeah, like to me, like all scooters are kind of gay, and my scooter is just a little bit less gay. It's still gay because it's a scooter, but just a little bit less, and because it's got like a wider body frame. And I love my scooter, but the thing's still got the really small wheels on it, so pretty much any bump you hit, I mean, yeah, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel it. But those big ass motocross things, I mean, you're just cruising. Yeah. Sir Liner says the fixers outside of LTO are scammers. I believe it, man. I don't know. I wouldn't really go through that. I've heard both. I've heard people who have gone through them and they were legit, but I'm sure there are plenty of scammers.
Well, that's like those guys that's going to fix your passport over at the immigration office saying, hey, we got stamps, we got this, we got that. I wouldn't trust them.
Dubious James says it's not the scooter, it's you. Says so. What he's saying is basically, I am moderately gay.
If you're wearing a pink helmet, I guess so, right?
Yeah, dude. I got a pink helmet. I got a pink scooter, and it's got a little bell. It's like ding, ding, ding. And I put on this like this song that's like sunshine, lollipops, and that's what I play when I cruise around.
No, we don't know, but we thought you changed for you not being on for so long. We were hoping things were gonna like make you like a little bit more beefier and macho, but no, damn it.
You're gay when you can listen to a whole Celine Dion song in the car.
Oh man, hey, talk about Celine Dion. That's like the #1 like
Artists in the Philippines.
You go to karaoke with any Filipina, boom, Celine Dion for sure.
Yeah.
Raymond says the hardest part about riding a scooter is telling your parents that you are gay.
That's pretty good.
My friend owns a Honda dealership here in New York, and I'll tell you, Honda makes some pretty fast. They look like they're from another planet, man. Scooters.
Yeah, they're like
$10,000 for these freaking things. Crazy money.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the one with all the bells and whistles on it.
Yeah, unbelievable. I don't know why somebody would buy one of those over a real bike, but
yeah, they make these. I guess out here in Angeles City, these electric scooters are pretty popular. So they make these. They make these electric scooters, which if I had known more about them, I might have even considered buying one. But they're pretty much exactly the same. They look the same as a normal scooter. They go just as quick, but they're electric and they're a lot cheaper too. So yeah, I didn't even know about
that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds cool, man. I can't imagine.
Boys,
can you guys
it
imagine?
Is that time of day. Hey, damn it, I'm trying to get out of here.
Go for it, Kev. Go for it.
No, finish what you're saying, of course.
Well, I was going to say, can you imagine Big Kev riding a scooter? Like, I feel like it would be one of those scenarios, like a giant bear riding a unicycle. Like, it would kind of look like that.
Hey, Kev, I see you trying to get out of a trike, man. That's got to be difficult.
Well, it's easy getting in. It's a bitch coming out. Because like in those trikes, they got a rough cut up on the ceiling, rough cut metal, and I cut my head all the time. And the jeepneys, I'm bouncing my head up and down. So yeah, I'm blood's dripping off of my head.
Hey, Kev, there's no way, the bicycle trikes, there's no way a guy could pedal one with you in it.
You think they would recommend you wearing a helmet first?
Well, the funny thing is, I would ride on the back where the driver is. I would ride on. I would, like, if you look at some of my pictures, it shows me riding on the back where the driver is, and on his seat, and he's keep on turning around and looking on the back of his tire, seeing if the tire is gonna pop. That's why I tell the guy, hurry up and drive.
You didn't weigh that much.
Well, sometimes I did, sometimes I didn't. Depends on the time of year.
Yeah, yeah. I've been in some uncomfortable situations on those things.
Yeah, and it's scary hanging on too.
I was sitting on the back of, we're sitting lap to lap right next to the driver, me and my friend, and 4 of us on one trike. I'm like, man, doesn't get any worse.
Well, no, it doesn't get any worse, except when you're going around the corner and it feels like you're gonna fall off. That part kind of sucks. But no, I never had a problem. If you want to get to know the city, jump on a jeepney by yourself, learn where everything is. Then you feel more comfortable going, instead of having your girlfriend with you, and then you just go on by yourself and you just learn where everything is. But yeah, I'm gonna have a last words. We're gonna get out of here. We already hit past 2 hours now. I'd like to thank Seth for coming by. Malcolm, thanks for coming by.
Sure.
Malcolm, do you have any last words?
Well, anybody that's new to YouTube can go subscribe to my channel. Open to answer any questions and comments as best as I can. I appreciate you guys.
Oh, cool. Yeah, Malcolm, you can type out like in the messages right here on the side. You could type out the name of your channel and let people know where you're located at. That's cool about leaving a plug.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah. Hey, Richard,
Hey, what's up?
what's your last words, buddy?
Well, this show went crazy tonight, didn't it? Started off to be a short question and answer thing, typical Wednesday night thing, and it was pretty cool having Seth back.
Yeah.
Aloe, the winter,
And
back.
we had Peter come on.
Peter, yep, and yeah, and you disappeared when Peter came, so I had to.
Well, I had to go
Question.
upstairs. I had to see what they were doing up there.
Did you hear what Peter had to say? He was commenting about Johnny Warrior, and he said things that Warrior was saying something about his epilepsy or something. I said, Johnny didn't say anything about your epilepsy on the program.
No.
I said, Johnny
I
was a
never heard.
gentleman. And yeah, so, but he said Johnny said disparaging things about, but you got to forget that shit, you know what I mean, and move on, you know what I mean? If somebody said something bad about you,
Well, what I heard wasn't really that bad, so I don't know. Johnny trying to talk pretty nice about Peter.
He really was, yeah.
Yeah, so there wasn't really anything bad. I'm not sticking up for Johnny. I'm just saying that I didn't hear Johnny belittle you at all. He was just saying that, sometimes you just he'll give you a break and then you go and screw it up and then he'll go and see you again. But yeah.
Well, I am sticking up for Johnny because I did hear what Johnny had to say, and and he didn't say anything about Peter's epilepsy in that room, and nobody else heard him say any of that. Maybe in other vlogs that nobody else heard, or
I never heard it.
I didn't hear anything about that, so I don't know why it concerned us, but Peter felt it did, so it didn't really bother me.
Well, no, because like I said, he never said nothing. But anyway,
agree to disagree.
Yeah.
Just don't say nothing that what you think somebody else said. That's how bad rumors start, and then people walk around. Oh, he's talking about me, and get all butt hurt.
Yeah, Peter was saying he had in the room. He said he was having bad health recently or something, and yeah, he was talking about that.
Well, that's why you got to get the hell out of here and go back to the land of the red, white, and blue.
And he was saying the Philippines wasn't all it's cracked up to be and stuff, and it's not all girls or something. And then John Doe was saying, well, something about tell us about girls or something. And
I heard that part. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But Peter's okay, I mean, Peter is Peter. He's not going to change. So, whatever. Hey, Seth, nice to have you on board, buddy. I've been not trying to get you on my show. I mean, I don't really care if you come on my show or not, of course, but it's always nice to have you come by and toot your horn, saying what's going on and promoting yourself like you always do on my show. And
guys,
good show. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, so it's always it's always good to come around. Richard, Malcolm, nice to meet you, and Kev, you're all good guys. So I'll try and come around as much as I can. If I could come around more, believe me, I would because I always enjoy the live shows. But with like the work schedule and shit.
Is this time a good time for you, or is it another time?
No, to be honest, no. I had a call. I had to wake my ass up at 7 a.m. for a call, and I was just all caffeinated. So normally I would have gone back to sleep, but I was like, let's check out YouTube, and I saw that you're live. So no, normally I wouldn't be able to come on at this time. So usually when you're on is a really bad time for me because mornings I'm usually busy, and then nights I'm usually busy as well. So if it was like, I don't know, it's tough. I don't even have really a consistent schedule, but it is tough. So I'll try and catch you guys as much as possible because it's always fun. It's always a good time.
Yeah. Hey, tell Tuk Tuk and Lucas and Brian that we all said hey and hope everybody's doing good.
Yeah, of course, we'll do. Richard, did you have a question?
Yeah, the other day when Heminger was in the room and said that you got accosted by somebody, Kevin was going to call you. And I said, yeah. He said, I'm calling you, Seth, right now. I said, well, maybe he's not up yet. And he goes, I said, tell him I said to call you. And he goes, Kevin goes, he doesn't even know you. I said, bullshit. I gave him a pickle recipe for those deli pickles. He knows who I am. Just tell him.
I know who you are, man. We've talked how many times have we talked, Richard? Of course I know who you are.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And yeah, Kevin was just busting my chops. That's all.
Yeah.
Look at him saying whatever.
You're just trying to get me jealous. I know how you guys are working it now.
No. I don't talk on the phone with him like you do, man. But I'm just saying, I like to hang out with famous people too,
Well, it's funny because I remember when I got that call, Kev, but I was working. I was like literally like on a call, or I was writing an email or something. And so I couldn't even respond, right? I was like busy doing something. So I remember that was like a couple days ago, right?
But yeah, because Lynn never told you, because I was talking to her for like a couple hours and she kept on saying, shh, Seth.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Anyways, guys, yeah, like it's a pleasure. Like I said,
I'm gonna show this comment. It's been
yeah.
All right, you guys. Hey,
yeah,
you guys, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. I appreciate all of my guests that came on, and I appreciate you guys that was listening. Every day is a different show. You never know who's going to come by. You never know what's going to happen. I wasn't even going to have a show because my aunt almost hit that deer today. And
you're a funny guy, Raymond. Your fucking Cubs are going to lose for that remark.
Well, before I got interrupted by a rude person in the bullpen, but that's okay. We're going to leave. I'm not going to see you guys until Friday. So you guys have a good night. I wasn't going to come on, but I'm glad I did. Sometimes you just do it. Okay.
All right, brother.
So you guys have a good night. Have a good day. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. God bless you all. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Right, this is Big Kevin. And this is Richard with us. You guys have a good day. Have a good night. And see you later.